Convening our Hidalgo County Commissioners Court workshop posted for today, September the 11th, 2018. The entire court being present, we have a quorum. At this time, we're going to be recessing our workshop, and at this time, we're going to be reconvening our budget workshop posted for today.
Afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. This is workshop number 5 for the 2019 budget process. Judge, Commissioners, really there's not a lot of information that we have to present today. On page 3, you have the summary of all the actions that the direction that court has given us in preparing the proposed budget for 2019, which we'll file with the county clerk's office next Wednesday. The only other item that we wanted just to show with the court is going to be on page 4, which is basically the road and bridge allocation based on the revenues that the county auditor had estimated and the fund balances that are available. Again, total available resources is going to be $21.8 million. We have almost $1.3 million for countywide operations, which is the countywide shop. The personnel that we have under planning and engineering, under the planning department, and also our BCAP program, and then countywide administration, which we do also have roughly about a $250,000 contingency within the countywide administration, which leaves us available resources of $20.5 million, which we're recommending to the court that we keep at least $565,000 in the fund balance in case there's any emergency for next year, which means available for appropriations roughly about $19.9 million, and then which is an increase of roughly about $220,000 from last year. That becomes available to the precincts, and we've allocated in the historical percentage distributions. I don't know if the court has any questions on this or. Right now, we do show everybody under the countywide shop that's currently in the countywide shop. I know that we had discussed moving maybe some personnel from some of the precincts, some of the mechanics, into that countywide shop. I don't know if the court has any preference on that or any recommendation on.
Commissioner had mentioned trying drainage instead of countywide shop because of the specialties of the mechanics that he has.
Okay.
But get with him on that.
All right, we'll do that.
So with respect to the road and bridge, the countywide aspect, not the individual commissioners, they obviously have their responsibilities, but on the countywide, there was, we talked about allocation of funds to make sure that we were accounting for, from a cost allocation standpoint, the staff personnel that was assisting your office, my office, with all these countywide projects.
Currently, we only have what we have available right now. What we have in existence right now, we didn't make any appropriations for any additional staff on there. If we do, then we would either need to have it come from the allocation available to the precincts or from the fund balance.
From the fund, okay. Then I will get with you, and then obviously with the court's direction, but we'll send something out to them today.
Okay.
Well, the workshop is open over and above the road and bridge, correct?
Correct. The only thing new that we had to present to the court was the road and bridge allocation.
Okay.
But we can't discuss anything within the budget.
Okay. So then, just real quickly, I want to touch on the IT budget. With respect to the IT, I know that we have discussed, and I've been working with the court, and I have a pending meeting that I had talked to Commissioner Cantu that I would be meeting with him, and then I would meet individually with the rest of the court members as far as the IT on the security. Cybersecurity.
Right now, we do have allocated basically 2 positions, $88,000 that are allocated to the cybersecurity. So we would be, depending on the direction that the court wants to take, whether, I know we had discussed whether we have 2 positions as we have listed right now, or create that into 1 position. We can make that allocation within those funds.
What if you do it with an outside company? Is that budgeted, or would it come from these 2 positions? Do you need both? Would you need these positions and the outside company?
Depending on, I know we had talked about maybe having a consultant to see how we re-engineer the IT department, but if it's solely to subcontract for cybersecurity security, then we could do that in lieu of the positions.
Can Renan raise his hand? Do you have something, Renan?
Morning, Judge Commissioners, Mr. Guerra. We had a conversation with Mr. Guerra yesterday. So the actual plan that we had at IT was contract a third-party SOC, what they call Security Operations Center, which is a third-party service that's very common nowadays. And what they do is they monitor your network 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. And then you can pretty much streamline what you want them to do, monitor, act, contain, communicate, when anything happens, because a lot of these things happen after hours or you just don't have the staff. So we're actually working on seeing what vendors are out there and maybe even retaining some of these services from here to the end of the year and then maybe next year. Separately, what we were requesting was ground staff to mitigate any day-to-day threats that come up. Once in a while, a computer will have a virus or somebody clicked on a link on an email, and we need that local staff to go mitigate that, go pull the computer, go scan it. So that's kind of the combination that we are designing, and that was the specs on the 2 new positions that we were requiring, that local staff to mitigate. Cybersecurity also starts at the user level. We need to train our users, make them aware not to click, not to fall for the social engineering scams that are out there, the phone calls, the emails, the guy walking in with a clipboard saying that he's doing maintenance, and that's really not what they're there for. And that's the design of these positions, is to reach out and create phishing campaigns, training programs, workshops. That's where we have a little bit of a gap in the day-to-day.
Okay, and Mr. Ramirez, then can you give us an example? And this happened, I think. Yes, sir.
I've got a question. What if they do hold their stuff for ransom, say, and they take all our, say, tax office or whatever? Do we have insurance cover for that?
Yes, we do have cybersecurity insurance.
How much?
Glenda, do you? Okay, I can get that, but we do have cybersecurity insurance.
We do have it.
Yes, because a lot of those people will hold that for ransom, and then they don't.
Right, and Commissioner, where I was going to go is about, Renan, do you think it was about a month ago or less than a month ago when I got a couple of phone calls saying, well, you just sent me something, but the problem is somebody picked on it real quick. Everybody knows my salutation and my exit, and they're like, did you change? Because they weren't used to the way it was worded, but it looked extremely legit.
It looks, that's the thing with phishing, and these guys are doing what they call spear phishing. You've got all the security, but they try so many different techniques. One's going to get through, and they're hoping that one is the one somebody clicks on. So you've got to make your users aware, literally paranoid, before they click. Your Amazon order is ready, your UPS package, and that's the way these are phrased. Your invoice, the invoice one is predominant. And in this society where we want instant gratification, we want to click fast. So we've got to get it down to the user level. And they have these great programs out there where you push the training to the user, to their computers, and you can see where they're at. And then we can say, okay, you need to complete the training by this time or else we'll disable your access, or whatever we need to do.
Yeah.
I really like to see, hopefully we can afford an outside company, because then we have somebody that's liable for what happens to us. If it's internal staff, I mean, all we're going to do is reprimand them, but we're going to be in a horrible situation. And even if we do have insurance after the fact, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's too late. We're not able to function as a county like it's happened before. So I would like to have an outside agency if possible, so that they're more responsible to us.
I agree. So that's what these SOC options are. They monitor and they help you contain. Right. We were just asking for the local
And then it's
text.
24/7.
It's 24/7. And they'll call you when it's depending on the severity or whatever it is that you decide that you want to know on a trigger. In our case, I'd probably want to know whatever. You call me whenever, and that's what we're looking at.
And Commissioner, at the end of this day, I do believe we do need the additional 2 slots, because everything that we're doing today, tomorrow, and the next day is all going to be IT. And we have a new one, a new courthouse coming up that's going to be, state of the art, up to date IT. So I do believe we need these 2 new positions, and to that end, Stan has been working with Mr. Ramirez and Ms. Judith. So Stan's been, I don't want to say augmenting services, but he's been available.
Support. capacity.
Exactly, and so I've been working with Stan. Says, you know what, this may be a situation where you're going to be working over there now, but we're trying to, as you said, Commissioner, we're trying to utilize the resources we have. But at the end of the day, you are correct. If there's a mistake or we miss something on our end, then we missed it, and you know, it's a reprimand. If it's very egregious, then it's more than a reprimand. But again, this is the future where we're at right now. So I do believe we do need these two additional positions. We need to take that leap and make that investment in IT, and not just countywide IT, and supporting with our federal programs out there, the WICs, state and federal, the CSAs, the urban counties, the Head Starts, and support their IT.
As a point of information, Commissioner, the SOC we're looking at, I don't recall the name of the company, very prestigious company. It's $3,800 a month to monitor our network. So that's what we're trying to get procured in the next month, to just have that coverage while we build our cybersecurity function and get to where we need to be. So one of the things we're speculating with Sergio is maybe we can offset one of the positions with that cost, and then just have your local or analyst or manager or whatever it is that we decide to do.
$3,800 is de minimis. I mean, shouldn't even be talking about it.
The other thing is make sure that we follow up on that peer review, you know, where
Absolutely.
we get somebody big
No,
like
absolutely,
Harris County
absolutely,
come back
definitely.
and give us
This
an
is
assessment. And I'm sure that this will be a part of it. And again, I just think it's another layer of security that we have been talking about. But yeah, for sure, I think we need to get somebody to come in and give us an assessment.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Now, with that being said, also, Renan, I know that the IT department's been working hand in hand with the individual precincts and departments, because the larger departments and the precincts, obviously, with all the operations that you have, I know that there's someone that you have that's assigned to do the IT. And so, as long as there's that constant communication and the protocol, and I know, and to end this conversation, I know one of the biggest issues that we got with respect to phone calls was, why can't I access using, I was working at home and I brought my little USB and it won't allow me. Well, unfortunately, we're not able to monitor what one does at home with their computers, and we don't know what type of antivirus they have. And so it's that simple, where they insert a USB and that's all it took.
The business practice and the policies. Right. And we have an internal IT advisory group that includes your staff and your staff, Commissioner Robert's on there, and your people are on there. And we met with them Friday. We meet with them once a month. And we're going to try to make that more regular. They're going to assist us we're going out for bids on circuits, on email, and they are part of that decision making. We're not just doing this on our own. Everything is vetted, obviously, through the executive office as well.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up. And Commissioner Gatu, Robert actually has been a real great asset to us in working with your office on your projects. We picked his brain, and Robert goes, no, look at this, and sure enough, so Robert's helped us out on just picking his brain, as well as in your office as well, Commissioner. So we do have qualified individuals working in-house, but we do need to continue the investment.
Just Commissioner, unless you all have any other questions on any other item.
Sergio, the budget is going to be filed when?
It'll be filed the proposed budget will be filed next Wednesday.
Wednesday.
In the county clerk's office.
Last workshop will be Tuesday then, just as an abundance of caution.
We can have one. I will not be available next Tuesday,
okay.
But we can post one if needed.
When does it have to be in the monitor?
When is it going to be posted for the monitor? This weekend?
I think the publishing for that already occurred, I think, last weekend. Notifying the public about the proposed budget filing, and also the setting of the tax rate and the adoption of the budget.
Right.
Those have already been published.
Okay. And
so all our legal notices have already been published.
Okay. And for the 25th,
the 25th will be the 25th will be the budget adoption proceeding and the setting of the.
For the 25th, you need a quorum of the court for the adoption of budget.
Yes, we'll need actually 4 members. We'll need the 4 members because we need 4 members to set the tax rate.
That's where I was going.
And so you need a registered vote, right?
On the 25th.
Yes,
on the 25th.
and a record vote. A record vote on the setting of the tax rate.
You need a quorum of the court for the adoption of budget, but you need minimum 4 court members for the setting of the tax rate. Okay.
That's correct.
And if we grant anything, we'll let Steve do the motion and we'll follow.
On the tax rate, we'll draft the language and we'll place it on the dais and see who wants to make that motion.
All right.
Oh, you're the Eric too.
Judge, if there's no other questions, that'll conclude the workshop.
Anybody have any questions?
Move to adjourn.
If not, we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries.